Palestinian militant group Hamas released 3 Israeli hostages on Saturday, as Israel freed dozens of Palestinian prisoners. It's the latest in a ceasefire deal aimed at ending the 15-month war in Gaza. Ohad Benami and Eli Sharabi were both taken hostage from Kibbutz Be'eri during the cross-border Hamas-led attack on October 7, 2023. Or Levy was abducted that same day from the Nova Music Festival. The 3 men all appeared thin, weak and pale, and in worse condition than the previously freed hostages. Family and friends cheered and cried as they watched their release live on television. Their relatives spoke of their pain of seeing them in that condition.
He doesn't look like himself. He looks like he suffered a lot for such a long time, not being at home. And it was very difficult for me to see him like that, very, very hard.
Dozens of Hamas militants were deployed in central Gaza as it handed hostages over to the International Committee of the Red Cross. The hostages were then driven in ICRC cars to Israeli forces and into Israel, where they were reunited with family members. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the sight of the frail hostages was shocking and would be addressed. In exchange for the hostages' release, Israel said it was freeing 183 Palestinian prisoners, as well as 111 detained in Gaza during the war. Cheering crowds greeted the buses as they arrived in Gaza. 6 people released in the West Bank were in poor health and taken to hospitals, according to Palestinian medics. The first phase of the ceasefire has largely held since it took effect on January 19. However, fears have grown that the deal might collapse before all 76 remaining hostages held by Hamas are freed. Concerns intensified after US President Donald Trump's surprise call to develop Gaza into, quote, the Riviera of the Middle East. Arab states and Palestinian groups have rejected Trump's proposal, while Netanyahu welcomed his intervention. Negotiations on the second phase began this week, aimed at returning the remaining hostages and agreeing a full withdrawal of Israeli troops from Gaza in preparation for a final end to the war.